I mean, the time has officially come. It is time to say goodbye to the gray trash can, put it into another gray trash can, and say goodbye forever. Well, more specifically, put it into a brown box and ship it back to T-Mobile, but you get the idea. Hey everyone, my name is Talon, and as you kind of saw from the intro, I am officially getting rid of T-Mobile home internet. I know it's probably a little bit of a surprise because I've made multiple videos in the past of T-Mobile home internet, and I've been extremely happy with the service to the point that, I mean, I've had it for half a year now, actually probably about a year now, canceled my old cable subscription for my internet and switched completely over to T-Mobile home internet. I loved it at the start. I made a couple update videos a couple months after I've had it. But I mean, I'm kind of just sick of it at this point. I'm really grateful for what T-Mobile has done for my market in this area. And I mean, Verizon's kind of moving in certain areas as well. And they're really just shifting things up. When I was looking at my cable company's website for signing up for internet again, I mean, they literally list some of the competitors of T-Mobile and they're in little tiny advertisements like, hey, the 5G providers cannot provide the same speeds as us, blah, 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 trying to convince people not to go to them. And I mean, for the most part, I'm not really happy that I'm going back to my cable company. It's really annoying that I actually have to switch back from T-Mobile home internet because I do believe in the service. I believe that it is a great price and you're getting a good deal, but some things just annoy me too much about the service. So I'm not going to be too analytical in this video. I'm not going to bring up too many graphs for you, and I've already disconnected the service. I've already gone through the entire process of setting up my cable internet again and everything, so I can't really test it anymore for you guys anyways, but I just want to kind of go through the process, kind of the headache it was to cancel and my whole methodology for the reasoning behind it. So if anyone hasn't seen any of my previous videos, you can watch them and you can kind of get more of my idea from it. But for anyone that doesn't know what T-Mobile home internet is, basically it's T-Mobile's version of just home internet. Instead of using your cable provider or your telephone provider, whoever, or fiber to your home, you're using T-Mobile and their towers nearby. So not everyone's going to be eligible for it. Just depends on your T-Mobile service in your area. But specifically, if you have T-Mobile 5G, their ultra capacity bands near you, you're probably eligible for T-Mobile home internet. And for the most part, it should be a good service. And one of the reasons why I switched to T-Mobile in the first place is I was just sick of my cable company costing about 50% more than what T-Mobile home internet was charging of $50 a month. That's really good for internet, at least in my area it is. I was paying up to close to $80 before. And my local cable company, Cox, had no competition in the area. They had data caps on all of their plans. If you wanted to have unlimited data, it was an additional $50 a month. That was the entire cost of T-Mobile home internet. And I saw T-Mobile home internet enter my area, and I was just like, okay, I'll try it out. Jumped on it. It was great for the first couple months I had it. And that's the key right there. It was great the first couple of months, and I've experienced multiple issues after that fact. And it's kind of an annoying situation because, I mean, really, even in my area, I recommend T-Mobile home internet to a lot of people. It all depends on your use case. Specifically, the issue that I had with T-Mobile home internet was the latency that it was causing, specifically for games or just reaching out to any server, just peer-to-peer networking in general. The latency was absolutely terrible. Oh man, even the packet drops and the jitter was insane. I was getting upwards of 200 milliseconds in the jitter, and it was just dropping packets like crazy anytime that I was doing anything. It was absolutely miserable. And again, at the start, this wasn't an issue, but the reasoning that it did become an issue is later on, T-Mobile had a firmware update specifically for the model of the gateway that I had, that kind of like gray trash can model. And that firmware update allowed T-Mobile home internet to be able to switch easily to the LTE bands in my area. And no matter what I did, no matter what, every single time I would turn that gateway on, it would automatically always use the primary as an LTE tower. And that's exactly where the issue actually comes from, is the fact that it was trying to always use that LTE band. And the fact that T-Mobile doesn't let the user actually change any of these settings themselves. You can go into the web browser and you can look at what band you're connected to and everything, what your primary and secondary signal is, but they don't offer any choice of you actually switching it manually whatsoever. It only ever uses the primary signal, which at the same time, why even have a primary and secondary signal if only the primary ever gets used? Yeah, you have a connection with the secondary signal, so maybe if the primary drops off, but it's just, why not give us the option to switch back and forth? At least the people that feel comfortable doing it, let us have some way to unlock these features in the firmware. When I first started T-Mobile Home Internet on the 5G towers, I was able to play games. It wasn't the greatest. I have a gaming video if you want to go watch that. You can see some of the latency I had. It wasn't the greatest. I was playing Call of Duty Warzone, and it was decent. At least the ping was a little higher, but I wasn't having packet drops, and I was able to play the game. But I'm a pretty big gamer. I was playing a lot of Valorant and Halo Infinite the last probably like 6 months ago, and I just had to stop playing. And I didn't even know how much this affected me until my wife actually told me. This is like, hey, why haven't you been playing video games that much lately? And I kind of just sat back and just like I play single player games, but I just completely stopped playing multiplayer games because I can't. T-Mobile Home Internet literally ruined the entire experience for me. And there's times I called customer service, and I could probably do a whole nother video on just how terrible T-Mobile's customer service is, specifically with the home internet. I would call T-Mobile up, and I would literally tell them exactly what was wrong. I would tell them what what needs to happen for it to be fixed. Literally, I asked them just switch the band, just put me on a 5G band. But no, instead the customer service representative, the technician, if you can call them that, they literally waste an hour of my time, made me restart my gateway 5 times. 5 times they made me restart my gateway because they thought that would just magically fix it. I'm not an idiot. I understand turning things off and turning things on again. I think anyone can understand that's basic troubleshooting. And outside of that, they literally had no other, they didn't know how to help me. They read from a script. They didn't know anything. They didn't even know the different bands. I told them exactly what band I was connected to. They don't understand what the difference between an LTE and a 5G band is. They're not even located in the United States, and so the English is kind of poor in times and everything, and they probably don't even know what T-Mobile is other than the fact that they work for them. So customer service was no help. I stuck with T-Mobile Home Internet for a little while longer until I was fed up with it, honestly. And kind of the reason why I did switch is because I was reading an article on the FCC's affordable connectivity program, and I was eligible because I'm in school, so I have the Pell Grant, and that's one of the criteria that makes you eligible. I'll do a video on it just for people in the future, but basically you get $30 back on your internet plans, and I was just like, okay, I'll switch back to my cable company. They increase their speeds because they have actually competition in the area. So they increase their speeds for the same price. They still have data caps, knowing whatever. But with them, at least technically, it would bring the price a little bit lower than T-Mobile with the affordable connectivity program, because I was trying to do it through T-Mobile and the process was absolutely miserable. And I couldn't never get it to work anyways. So the price is going to be a little bit cheaper than I was paying with T-Mobile, but I will have data caps. Hopefully I don't reach them. And if I do, it's probably not the end of the world. I can always add a little bit of extra data. And like I said, I'm saving a little bit of money, so I can put that towards a little bit of extra data, get more reliable internet, and actually consistent latency. I can play games again because I have my cable internet. It's a wild thing, honestly. But I mean, everything that T-Mobile does with their home internet, they just make it extremely difficult. Just canceling with them was just an absolute pain. First off, I mean, this is pretty common for a lot of companies. You do have to call T-Mobile to cancel with them. So you have to call them, go through their entire process. Of course, they don't immediately set you up with a T-Mobile home internet technician. So you call the customer service, you tell them you want to cancel, and then they put you on hold as they transfer you again, because you can't just call T-Mobile home internet directly. You have to call the normal T-Mobile just customer service in general. And so it's just an extra step. But even then, when you get connected with a technician, it's not as easy as just telling them, "Hey, I want to cancel." No, they don't make it that easy, actually. So your mileage will probably vary a little bit, but when I told them I wanted to cancel, first off, they're kind of overly nice. Again, they're reading from a script. You can tell that they're reading from a script because if you tell them something that they aren't expecting, they kind of just like roll everything back and try and get you on the path that they want you to be kind of talking to them on. So it's a very weird interaction to begin with, anyways. But they don't let you they didn't let me cancel immediately. They made me go through an entire troubleshooting step-by-step situation again that I've already been through before. I told them exactly what my issues were. Every single time I told them exactly what my issue was. I said my problem was latency. I told them that the problem is what band I'm connected to. I'm connected to an LTE band. I want to be connected to a 5G band. You don't give me the option to do that. And this technician thought when I was talking about bands, they thought I was talking about the 802.11 bands, the 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz bands. And they're like, oh, just go into your settings and disable the 2.4 gigahertz band. And I'm just like, that is not what I'm talking about right now. I am not talking about Wi-Fi. I actually had Wi-Fi completely turned off. This was only connected through an Ethernet cable. And I told them that. I'm like, I am not using Wi-Fi. And they did not understand that whatsoever. Like they cannot wrap their head around I was not using Wi-Fi and that my issue wasn't with the Wi-Fi itself and my issue was with the connection to the towers and what band I was connected to. So again, I sat through about 30 minutes of trying to explain it to them. They will not let me cancel until I went through their step-by-step troubleshooting of turning it off and turning it on again and just wasting my time until finally I was so angry and they wanted me to keep doing more troubleshooting. And I was just basically like, I am fed up, cancel my plan. I don't want to do any more of this. They kept trying to push back a little bit. And I just had saying, cancel my plan. And they finally did it. And of course they were like, oh, you want to do the survey? We'll send you a survey and everything. You tell more problems that you had so we can try and fix the problems in the future for other people. And it's just like, no, I have wasted enough of my time with you people. It is not worth it to me anymore. Fix your firmware. Honestly, like it's okay if you connect me to LTE bands. Like I don't mind. Give me the option to switch. That's all I want. Give the user the choice to switch. And of course, since the gateway is included with the T-Mobile home internet, now I have to go all the way to a UPS store to ship it back to them. I have to, they don't even give you a box or anything like that. So it looked like I have a box laying around, but it's just inconvenient. Honestly, like they make it so difficult just to cancel. The service is mediocre, at least in my area now. And they make it just annoying to cancel. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of just driven me crazy the last like month, just dealing with T-Mobile back and forth and everything like that. So I hope this video is helpful for someone. Honestly, if you're having issues with T-Mobile home internet, don't force yourself to keep them. Maybe go back to one of your other companies, call them up, and try and like negotiate a little with them. I was able to do that. They did give me about an extra $20 off my plan. So I mean, I'm actually with the affordable connectivity program, I'm basically paying almost nothing for my internet now. Because I negotiated with them. I was like, hey, like I have T-Mobile home internet now. Can you try and kind of convince me to switch to you guys? And I know with my cable company as well, they actually had a program with Rakuten, or not a program, but they had some cash back with Rakuten. So since I was signing up as a new customer, I got an additional $100 back. I do have a link in Rakuten down in the description. Check that out. Maybe there's something for your cable company or whatever company you're going to as well. Get a little bit more cash back. Why not? And then also I was able to convince them to give me an additional like $200 prepaid MasterCard. I have to have the service open for like 6 months before they even give me the prepaid card. But I mean, heck, that pays for like my internet for the year. Keep these companies competitive and negotiate and talk to them. I hope my little rant was enjoyable, at least to see the pain in my soul that I experienced the last little bit. And I think I'll actually be starting to do videos more often. So make sure you subscribe, like this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya. Why would I do finger guns? That's dumb. Who does finger guns? It's 2022. Yeah, I'm not going to do that from now on.